Volatile energy markets have made 2022 a big year for commodity traders. One of the biggest and perhaps most unlikely winners, the U.S. government. Emergency releases from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve are slated to end this month, concluding an unusual attempt to lower gas prices after Russia's invasion of Ukraine sent oil prices soaring. Over the release period, Washington sold 180 million barrels of crude at an average of $96.25 apiece, well above the recent market price of $74.29, meaning the U.S., for now, is almost $4 billion ahead. The price of West Texas Intermediate to be delivered next month is down 40% from its wartime peak, reflecting concerns that China's pandemic reopening isn't juicing global demand. The question is whether the good news will last. Some market participants criticized the Biden administration's March decision to authorize the releases, calling it an unprecedented intervention into the market. Now, as the differential between the prices of SPR sale and crude futures widens, some analysts and investors have called on the administration to begin replenishing its stockpiles. The Energy Department, empowered by October rule changes that give it more flexibility in such purchases, is able to wait for favorable prices as it begins to refill more of the SPR's skyscraper-sized underground storage caverns, a senior administration official said, adding that the process will likely take months and years. On Friday, the department solicited bids for 3 million barrels from the U.S. supplier starting in February. At some point, they will need to start buying irrespective of the market, said Claudio Galimberti, Senior Vice President of Analysis at the consulting firm Rystad Energy. You cannot expect the U.S. government to behave like a trader. But the administration appears to be in no rush. It has said it believes the SPR's remaining holdings, about 382 million barrels, leave it well positioned to weather potential supply shocks. The SPR held about 593 million barrels of oil at the beginning of this year, according to the Energy Department, down from a peak of 727 million barrels in 2009. Since then, the U.S. has emerged as a major oil exporter. There is no need to refill it to previous levels due to the shale revolution, said Anas Al-Hajji, a managing partner at Energy Outlook Advisors. This year's SPR sales were the largest such release since the inventory was created after the Arab oil embargo from 1973 to 1974. Over the course of 7 auctions since April, the Energy Department sold barrels to U.S. refiners, foreign trading houses and major oil producers. Pumping fresh water into dozens of salt caverns that house oil across Texas and Louisiana, the agency pushed crude out of storage and through a pipeline network that connects to refineries and marine terminals. About 4.7 million barrels of crude were released through that system in the week that ended December 9, according to the Energy Department. The agency has said its final deliveries will wrap up this month. As crude prices petered out in recent weeks, high-flying energy stocks that were among the few bright spots in the S&P 500 this year have retreated. The cost of gasoline also dropped from its summertime high to a U.S. average of about $3.10 a gallon, according to GasBuddy. The SPR release really did go a long way to filling a supply gap and limiting commercial inventory draws, said Paul Sheldon, a geopolitical risk analyst at S&P Global Commodity Insights. But now the cannon has been fired. U.S. officials previously said that they intended to restock the SPR once U.S. crude futures fetch around $70 a barrel. Many contracts for such deliveries in 2024 and 2025 currently trade near that level. But Wall Street analysts expect prices to rebound next year as the Chinese economy comes back online. It is unclear how much oil Washington ultimately will buy. The Energy Department is evaluating how much crude would be needed to cushion against various types of supply shocks, said Douglas McIntyre, Deputy Director for the Energy Department's Office of Petroleum Reserves. Speaking at a Senate Energy Committee hearing this month, Mr. McIntyre requested Congress pause or cancel previously scheduled SPR sales of about 140 million barrels between 2024 and 2027 as required by bills funding the National Institutes of Health, surface transportation projects and more. Should Congress void those releases, he added, the Energy Department hopes to buy about 60 million barrels on the open market. Fortunately, we sold high, Mr. McIntyre said.